The Kansas City Royals did something that nobody in Major League Baseball expected. Their coaching staff made a decision so controversial, so bold, and so unprecedented that it immediately sent shockwaves throughout the entire baseball world. And at the center of it all was none other than Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player on the planet. But what happened next was something nobody saw coming. Ohtani responded. And he responded furiously. When the Dodgers arrived in Kansas City for what was supposed to be a routine series, nobody could have predicted that this matchup would turn into one of the most talked about controversies of the entire season. The moment the Royals coaching staff made their move against Ohtani, the baseball world erupted. Social media exploded. The Dodgers clubhouse fell silent. And Ohtani, a man known for his calm, composed, and professional demeanor, was visibly furious in a way that his teammates had rarely, if ever, seen before. What exactly did the Royals coach do? Why did it trigger such a strong reaction from Ohtani? And what does this mean for the rest of the season? The answers to these questions are more shocking than anyone could have imagined. When the starting lineup was announced before the game, media personnel and analysts immediately noticed something very unusual about the Royals' strategy. The Royals coaching staff had made a highly controversial decision specifically targeting Shohei Ohtani. According to sources close to both teams, Royals manager Matt Quatraro had instructed his pitching staff to deliberately and repeatedly throw at Ohtani, not just pitching carefully around him, but an aggressive and intentional pattern of inside pitches designed to intimidate the Japanese superstar and knock him off his game. What made this decision even more alarming was the fact that this strategy appeared to be premeditated. Multiple reporters who cover the Royals confirmed that the coaching staff had held lengthy internal meetings before the series specifically focused on how to neutralize Ohtani. But the approach they ultimately chose crossed a line that many in baseball considered completely unacceptable. Reporters immediately swarmed manager Dave Roberts after the game, demanding answers. Roberts, usually composed and diplomatic, could not hide his frustration. He said that what the Royals did was beyond the boundaries of competitive baseball. He emphasized that targeting a player in that manner was not just controversial, it was dangerous and disrespectful to the game itself. The first incident occurred in the second inning. Ohtani stepped into the batter's box with his usual focused intensity. The Royals pitcher wound up and delivered a fastball that sailed dangerously close to Ohtani's body. The crowd gasped. Home plate umpire immediately issued a warning to the Royals dugout. But that was only the beginning. By the third inning, the situation had escalated dramatically. Another pitch flew inside, this time even closer than the first. Ohtani visibly flinched and stepped out of the batter's box. For a moment, he simply stood there, staring directly into the Royals' dugout. Those who were watching closely said that the look on Ohtani's face was unlike anything they had ever seen from him before. It was not anger in the traditional sense. It was something deeper. Something colder. A look of absolute determination. Freddie Freeman, who was watching from the dugout, later told reporters that the moment he saw that look on Ohtani's face, he knew something special was about to happen. Freeman said that Ohtani does not get rattled easily. But when someone crosses a line with him, he has a very particular way of responding, and it is never with words. Mookie Betts, speaking to reporters after the game, revealed exactly what was happening inside the Dodgers dugout during those tense moments. Betts said that the entire team was watching in disbelief as the Royals continued their controversial strategy. He said players were furious. Not just Ohtani, everyone. The Dodgers bench was completely fired up, and the atmosphere inside the dugout was unlike anything Betts had experienced in recent memory. Betts revealed that at one point, several Dodgers players stood up from the bench and were ready to step in. The tension was at a boiling point. But Ohtani, in his calm but intense way, motioned to his teammates to stay back. He wanted to handle this himself. And handle it he did. According to Betts, Ohtani walked back into the batter's box with a completely different energy. Gone was the relaxed pre-pitch routine. In its place was something sharp, focused, and almost frightening in its intensity. Betts said that everyone in the dugout leaned forward because they all knew something historic was about to happen. What followed was one of the most extraordinary individual performances anyone had witnessed at Dodger Stadium all season. Ohtani, apparently fueled by the controversy and the disrespect shown by the Royals coaching staff, went on an absolute tear that left the entire baseball world speechless. In his very next at-bat following the controversial pitching incidents, Ohtani crushed a ball deep into the left field seats for a mammoth home run. The crack of the bat was so loud that it silenced the crowd for a split second before an enormous roar erupted throughout the stadium. As Ohtani rounded the bases, he said nothing. He showed nothing. He simply ran, with that same cold, focused expression on his face. But he was not done. Not even close. Later in the game, Ohtani came up again in a crucial situation with runners on base. The Royals, by this point, appeared visibly rattled by their own controversial decision backfiring so spectacularly. Their pitcher hesitated on the mound. The crowd was electric. And Ohtani, completely locked in, drove another ball deep into the outfield, this time for a run-scoring double that further extended the Dodgers' lead. The Dodgers' dugout erupted. Freeman leaped from his seat. Betts was screaming. Even the normally reserved coaching staff could not contain their excitement. Because what they were witnessing was not just a baseball performance. It was a response. A statement. A furious, magnificent, undeniable statement from the greatest player in the world. After the game, the controversy surrounding the Royals coaching staff's decision only intensified. Multiple former MLB players and analysts took to television and social media to condemn the Royals' strategy. Hall of Famer and baseball legend voices from across the sport called the approach reckless, unsportsmanlike, and an embarrassment to the game. Even members of the Royals organization appeared uncomfortable with the fallout. Several Royals players, speaking anonymously to reporters, admitted that not everyone in the clubhouse was fully on board with the coaching staff's controversial approach. One Royals player reportedly said that targeting Ohtani that way was never going to work, and that anyone who watched him play should have known that making him angry was the last thing you ever wanted to do. Royals manager Matt Quatraro, facing a barrage of questions from reporters after the game, tried to downplay the controversy. He insisted that the inside pitching was simply part of a legitimate game strategy and was not intended to intimidate or harm Ohtani. But reporters were not satisfied with that explanation. When pressed further, Quatraro admitted that the results had not gone as planned and that his team would need to reassess their approach going forward. Meanwhile, inside the Dodgers clubhouse after the game, the atmosphere was a mixture of excitement and righteous satisfaction. Players gathered around and replayed Ohtani's home run on their phones. Laughter filled the room. Freeman stood up at one point and began clapping, which drew a round of applause from the entire team. Manager Dave Roberts, addressing reporters in his post-game press conference, made no attempt to hide his pride in how Ohtani had responded to the controversy. Roberts said that this is exactly who Shohei Ohtani is as a player and as a person. He said that when someone tries to knock Ohtani down, through words, through actions, or through controversial strategies, Ohtani's response is always the same. He goes out and he performs. And he performs at a level that nobody else in the game is capable of matching. Roberts also addressed the Royals coaching staff directly, saying that the baseball world had now seen exactly what happens when you try to use controversial tactics against Ohtani. The results speak for themselves. As for Ohtani himself, the Japanese superstar was characteristically brief in his post-game comments. Speaking through his interpreter, Ohtani acknowledged that the situation had been unusual and that he had noticed what the Royals were attempting to do. But rather than criticizing the Royals coaching staff directly, Ohtani simply smiled and said that his focus was always on helping the Dodgers win, and that is exactly what he tried to do today. But those who were in the stadium, who watched his expression when he stared into the Royals dugout, who saw the ferocity behind his swing on that home run, they all knew the truth. Shohei Ohtani had responded. Furiously. Magnificently. Unforgettably. And the entire baseball world was still talking about it. Thank you for watching. What do you think about the Royals coaching staff's controversial decision and Ohtani's incredible response? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting and up-to-date baseball news.